prophets of Micah's time were teaching principles that did not agree with the word of God that had been revealed. The law of God dealt in, what was that? The law of God dealt in its entirety with righteous living. The Lord would curse disobedience and he would bless righteous living. So he cursed what? Disobedience. And he blessed what?
Righteous
living. The prophet Micah reminded them of that simple truth of the law. I mean, the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 will tell you, you curse when you do this, 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 and this, this. You're blessed when you do this, 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 and that. Or you're blessed when you do this, this, and this. And you'll be cursed when you do this, this, and this. Yep. It spells it out. He made it plain. He made it clear. Now, throughout the history of the church, false prophets have glorified unrighteous living, while true men of God taught that godliness is profitable unto all things. Micah made it clear to the children of God that he had not spoken through the words of the false prophets. God had not changed his mind. He who promised blessing for righteousness and judgment for sin would not bless the nation for their continued rebellion and unrighteousness. Is that not like our country right now? Do you really think God's going to continue to bless America as they continue to be unrighteous and rebellious?
Nope.
No, he doesn't.
Nothing to fear from God.
No. There is nothing new about godly living. And God has not changed his mind about righteousness. You do not need to ask him to consider actions and activities he has already declared evil. You ain't got to sit up there and debate whether same-sex marriage is evil or not. He already declared it in his mind. A man should not lie with another man.
His word.
Well, I mean, what I say, well, the mind of God is his word. Okay, he already declared in his word that it's sinful. He said, actually, it's an abomination. And he ain't changed his mind because he said, I the Lord changeth not. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore.
Yeah, he said,
it was a sin 2,000 years ago, and before it, it's a sin now.
Yep.
And he's not. And just because the Bible is an old book doesn't mean that it needs to be updated. It's the Word of God.
And actually, they can say it's old and all that. It has not changed. History is just constantly repeating itself. And we just
people change, but
people
God's
getting
word
wicked,
is not changed.
More wicked and more wicked and more wicked.
He's not changing his word.
No, he's not.
He's not changing his mind
at all.
He's keeping it the same. Sin is sin is sin.
Sin, right? Whether you are homosexual or a liar,
it doesn't make a difference.
Exactly. It's all sin.
And we want to you know what we want to do? We want to appease our conscience. And try to make God line up with what we want. Like the created, trying to tell the creator what to do. Isn't that nervy? Oh well, moving right along. I don't even know where I was here. But let me finish reading. Oh, throughout history, throughout the history of the church, false prophets have glorified unrighteous living, while true men of God taught that godliness is profitable unto all men. Micah made it clear to the children of God, he made it clear to what? To us, to the people of God, that he had not spoken through the words of the false prophet. God himself was not speaking through these words of what these false prophets were saying. God had not changed his mind. He who promised blessings for righteousness and promised judgment for sin would not bless the nation for their continued rebellion and their continued unrighteousness. There is nothing new about godly living, and God has not changed his mind about righteousness. You do not need to ask him to reconsider actions and activities he has already declared to be evil. In the same way, he has not given new laws that are promoted by those who, like the Pharisees of old, make up new restrictions God never intended. Righteous living is not a secret to be discovered by those who search for it. The Apostle John reminded us, this is the commandment, that ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk in it. John 1:6. Love ye one another as he has loved you. It's, to me, simple, cut and dry.
Yep.
We need to just be obedient to the word of God and stop trying to come up with our own little devices to get over in what we want to continue to do in sinful lifestyles. Bottom line, sin is sin. He hates it, and he doesn't want us to be involved in it. So we need to consider our ways, make the adjustments, and move on. That's all. I ain't even got nothing else to say about this. But I am very much so compassionate for the people of God, because we can find ourselves entangled in yokes of bondages that we didn't even intend on getting in. Not that you intend to get in bondage anyway. But God has a way of escape for all of his children if we but call out to him. If we would yield to him. If we would seek him and not seek everybody else for an answer, but seek him for the answers. For life's problems and things that we're dealing with. And it seems like the problems are so insurmountable that they can never be corrected. But like Pastor Rodney always say, just ask God for, what part am I supposed to play? What am I supposed to do? No, I know I can't change the whole entire world like that. But what is my part to do to promote the change? And if we would just do that and not get overwhelmed and feel like if we can't do 50 million things, we're not going to do anything. Because you can get so overwhelmed with the world situation and problems until it'll make you just want to run in the corner and hide and say, you know what, I throw my hands up, I can't deal with it. And I ain't even talking about just the world problems, just the problems in your own family. Or make you sometimes want to back up in the corner and just say, you know, God, I just can't handle this. He knows how much every one of us can handle. And what we need to do is seek him and say, Father, what is it that you want me to do? And then do it. Just do it. Okay? Okay, Erica, you going to close us out with a word of prayer? Oh, sorry, Aaron. Okay. You going to do the communion?
All right.
Aaron's going to lead us in communion. And then Erica's going to close us out with a word of prayer. Gary, give it to you, Aaron. Hold on for 1 second. Let me get this to Aaron.